Pour out your heart like water in the presence of the Lord. Lamentations chapter 2, verse 19. There is something almost automatic about complaining. Like a reflex, we grumble about the weather, express frustration over traffic jams, or voice our dissatisfaction about our children or jobs. Often, we don't even realize we're doing it. It slips in as a way to fill silence or keep conversations going. Yet beneath each complaint, no matter how casual or light it sounds, lies a deeper attitude of the heart. In these moments, we often assume we deserve better. We silently declare, "I am owed more than this." It's uncomfortable to admit. Most of us would agree that entitlement is not the attitude we want to hold before others, and certainly not before God. But then there's Job, whose suffering shakes up our neat ideas about complaining. Job endured far more pain and loss than most can imagine, yet he didn't hide his anguish behind polite prayers or careful theology. Instead, he poured out his heart to God in raw, unfiltered honesty. He prayed from a place of deep bitterness. "My inner self loathes my life. I want to give vent to my complaint. I want to speak out of the bitterness of my inner self. I will say to God, 'You should not condemn me. Let me know why you contend against me.'" Job chapter 10, verses 1 and 2. This isn't a whispered grumble over small troubles. This is a man stripped bare by loss, boldly crying out for answers. Job uses vivid and unsettling images to express his confusion. He asks God, "Did you not pour me out like milk and curdle me like cheese?" Job chapter 10, verse 10. These aren't careless complaints. They're the anguished cries of a soul unraveling under overwhelming grief. To modern ears, Job's boldness might sound disrespectful, even shocking. But if we're honest, there's something profoundly human about his words. Pain can push us to the edge of our faith. Grief strips us of our certainty, and when life feels broken beyond repair, it's natural to question, even to direct those questions at God. But Job's story doesn't end with his laments. The climax comes when God speaks, not to answer every question neatly, but to show a perspective far beyond human understanding. God reminds Job of the Leviathan, asking him, in Job chapter 41, verse 1, "Can you pull in Leviathan with a fishhook or tie down its tongue with a rope?" Through this majestic imagery, God doesn't dismiss Job's suffering. Rather, he invites Job into a greater understanding of divine sovereignty. Faced with the voice of God, Job is silenced, not because he is ashamed, but because he now sees the vastness and mystery of the Creator in a new way. His complaints were honest and real, but they were only the beginning. They led him toward humility and awe. So what about us? Should we complain like Job when life disappoints? Job's complaints arose not from selfishness, but from a heart grieving true loss. There is a world of difference between grumbling out of entitlement and crying out from genuine pain. One challenges God, the other runs to him. Our world is full of suffering, injustice, and brokenness. These are not to be ignored or dismissed. In fact, God invites us to bring our burdens to him. As the Apostle Peter encourages us, "Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you." 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. When we bring our complaints humbly, they are not rejected but received by God, who sees the entire picture. He is not threatened by our doubts or confusion. He simply asks that we come to him, not turn away. The question then is, where do we take our pain? Where do we lay down our disappointments? Bring them before God. Turn your complaints into prayers. Allow your frustrations to be shaped by his word and his presence. He may not always give the answers we want, but he will never turn away a sincere heart. In Jesus, we have a Savior who not only hears our cries, but has entered fully into our suffering. He bore the weight of this broken world so we might find healing in his wounds. And in time, even our deepest complaints can become pathways to worship. How are you responding to life's disappointments right now? Are you bringing your burdens to God, or are you carrying them alone? What would it look like for your complaints to become conversations with the Lord?